Hello, I'm Reformed Mythologist Nate Morgan-Locke, and I would like to share with you a short animation that a friend of mine from Wales made. I think it's hilarious, but also quite thought-provoking. Here it is.
My name is Penny the Polar Bear, and I live at home with my mummy and also my other mummy. This mummy makes nice spaghetti. The Christians are protesting outside of our house. They don't want us on the show. We have to eat our spaghetti very quickly and then hide.
Daddy Pig is home from work.
Dad?
Yes, love?
There's a couple of gay polar bears next door. Why are the Christians protesting outside their house? And why are they writing articles in newspapers and online telling people to stop watching our show, Dad?
Well, Pepper, because their Bible clearly teaches that practicing homosexuality is a sin. And we're normalizing it by showing it to children, who in turn will grow and shape society thinking God isn't angry at sin.
Okay, thanks, Dad.
It is Peppa and George's bedtime.
Mum, I've been reading my Bible. It's this one with the cement mixer on, never quite sure why. Yes, I'm not quite sure why. And I've got some questions, Mum. Why didn't the Christians protest or stop watching when I was disobedient to my parents, which is called a sin in the same chapter that homosexuality is in Romans 1?
You're right, Pepper. They never really preach sermons against that type of sin, or write articles about it, or protest against it. Despite all the times you've been a selfish little brat on this program, you've got possibly the worst sense of entitlement I've ever seen. There were times I could have done with the elders of a church coming round, but they never do. You don't even hear a peep. Until now. Pepper, I've been reading this book too. And the more I read it, the more it seems odd to me that these Christians are unconcerned about the tsunami levels of greed, anger, laziness and pride in the world and in their own lives, especially all the materialism and heterosexual immorality. But lo and behold, they're outraged at Peppa Pig because they've picked up on a sin in our show that they actually care about.
Peppa, George and Mummy Pig have fallen asleep. It is morning.
Dad, what about when we didn't once start our day with prayers? Where were the Christians then? They seemed okay with that.
I don't know.
Dad, we haven't once been to church as a family, or ever spoken about the urgency of being part of a church family. Where were the Christians in their protests then? Why didn't they stop watching, Dad?
I don't know, Pepper. Those things perhaps aren't as important to them as being straight.
It is morning.
Dad, Jesus seems like a trustworthy figure, so his Bible is probably trustworthy too. But Dad, rather than protesting, on Sunday I'm going to join a church and learn to live a more deeply effective countercultural way. Dad, I have to live a radical lifestyle myself. I'm going to live in such a way that people have to ask, why do you live like that? Why have you got so much hope? Rather than us wading into them to ask them what they are doing.
Okay, Pepper, that sounds like a good idea. I'll phone church now.
Hello, this is the Orthodox Church. Hello, I want to come to church. Okay, I'll be over now. But it's Friday. Okay, I'll be over now. Hello, Mrs. Polar Bear. Would you like to come to church with me and also learn to live the way of Jesus? We're going to make some huge lifestyle changes. But with Jesus, it all makes sense. Whatever earthly relationships we give up for him, he replaces with a relationship with himself and with his church family. We get to trust Jesus that his way is better for us. Although you're already married with a child, so there's a minefield of pastoral implications to work through, but we'll work through it together. This is the way of Moses and the saints. This is the way. Oh, okay, Peppa, I'll come. I will join the side of Moses, Jesus, and the angels. I can see that there's something about you, Peppa. But before I come, first a joke. Peppa, how does Moses make his tea? He brews it.
Well, there you have it. Peppa Pig meets the Christians. Please remember that media consumption is optional. You are under no obligation to watch any parody Peppa Pig videos. I'm Reformed Mythologist Nate Morgan-Locke. I'm glad you were here.